G'day guys, in this video we're going to name some shapes and we're going to describe some shapes. So first out, I'm just going to think about naming shapes, and I assume that this is some knowledge that many people already have. So I can draw something like this and give it a name, like a rectangle. I can draw something like this and call it a triangle. Or I'll give that my best go. That's not too bad. And call that a circle. But in order to know the difference between these things, I have to describe them. If I said, what's a triangle like? You might say something about it having three sides, 1, 2, 3, or having three corners or three angles, any of those things. And so what you're doing when you do that is you're describing those shapes. The things that we tend to describe, so here I'm going to try to draw a square. There's, so the first thing I want to talk about is sort of this part. What do I mean by this part? I'm gonna do it in a different color so that you can see exactly what I'm talking about. We might call that the edge. We might call that a line, or we might call that a side. And so there are a lot of different words that we could use to describe this part of a shape. But in maths, we're just going to use one of those. We're just going to say side. Okay, and the other word that I'm going to be specific about is, I probably didn't need to draw a line there. Anyway, is this part. And again, I'm going to do it in a different color. And that's where those two sides meet each other. And in every day, we might call that a corner. Sometimes in maths, we might also call it an angle. But specifically, we're going to call it, we're going to refer to that where the two lines meet, or the two sides meet, as a vertex. And be careful, the plural of vertex, so you might also see this as vertice. I've got to check how to spell this. Vertice. So we might have, two vertices or three vertices. Oh, that's off the screen. Sorry. Two vertices or three vertices where we just have one vertex. So a vertex is where two or more sides meet. Am I all on the screen there? Yeah. Where two or more sides meet. And we're going to define a side as the line segment. Line segment that makes the outside of the shape. So Side is the line segment which makes the outside of the shape. So if we look at this square, this side makes this right hand side of the shape, and you can see that, yeah, all those sides make up all the outside of the shape. And the vertex is where two or more sides meet. So in everyday language, we might call that a corner, but in maths, we're going to specifically call that a vertex. Now, what you're going to do in your task, let me quickly show you, is you're just going to practice using this vocabulary to describe some shapes. So here we go. Before we had a triangle, and I might write something like this. A triangle has 3 sides and 3 vertices. 3 vertices, 3 sides, triangle. And that's me just using this new vocabulary that we've learned to describe a few shapes. Cheers.